Well, anxiety, it's normal sometimes to feel anxious, to have butterflies or feel jittery or your heart's pounding if you're a little bit scared or excited about something. That's normal kind of anxiety. But if it goes on too long, while that may not be very pleasant, it's not bad. But being anxious is something that can move into a disorder. If we start feeling worried, that's all we can think about, we feel overwhelmed with it. If it begins to interfere with relationships, because that's all you can talk about. Sometimes people talk about feeling apprehension and dread. Anxiety can be debilitating. And we feel like sometimes we can't think anymore, our mind's gone blank. So there are a lot of ways that it shuts us down and moves us out of a good life. There are a couple of ways anxiety manifests itself. One is that constant worry, just chewing on something over and over, and where people are consumed by it. And then there is the kind what we call anxious arousal, where people actually kind of go onto red alert. You know the snake's in the room. You know the spider's on your back. It's that kind of thing that is frightening, and they feel a lot of panic with it. So there are a couple of ways it manifests itself. When the constant worrying never gets better, then that's a sign that you need some help. And certainly if you're into the where you're panicked, where you're on red alert, you need to get some help with that. There's a panic disorder. There are people who have panic attacks, and this is where they really feel like they're going to die. They can't breathe, their heart's pounding, they're sweaty, they're dizzy. So there's that panic, and that is a very serious thing, and there is help for that. One of the things that we help people do, where I work at the James Hall Center for Mind, Body, and Spirit at Integris Health, is we help people learn how to calm themselves. And so people who are having panic attacks may have some medication, but there are also some skills they can learn to use their breathing, to slow down. This is why yoga, Tai Chi, these kinds of things are good to help people calm, focus, just slow down. So panic disorder is a big one. Obsessive compulsive disorder. This is where you start doing something you can't stop. We all know about people washing their hands constantly, afraid of germs. I've seen people learn a new game on the computer, and 4 hours later they're still sitting there. That's obsessive compulsive. So it's like there's some activity and we can't stop it. That's another one. Post-traumatic stress disorder has a lot of anxiety that goes with it. After the bombing here in Oklahoma City in 1995, there are a lot of people with post-traumatic stress disorder. When you have a trauma, you take it in through your senses, what you smelled, heard, tasted, touched, what you saw. And I can remember one lady talking about she was driving along between Norman and Oklahoma City, and she saw a yellow Ryder truck in her rearview mirror, and the panic went through her. Now she knew that was not Timothy McVeigh in the Ryder truck, but nevertheless that's what she had seen on the television over and over and over. So what she had to do was pull off to the side of the road and let it go by, and then calm herself and breathe. The year I was 40, I fell a long way over the side of a cliff. I was climbing, and I broke a lot of bones in my body. I'd never been afraid of heights, but a couple of years later, I happened to be in a situation where I was up high and no protection, and I had that panic hit me. My body remembered the fall, and I felt like I was going to die. And that wasn't even realistic. And so, but when you have that, what you do is you learn what your triggers are. I will always know that heights will trigger me. So I know how to take care of myself when I'm up high. I know what to do. Sometimes we can avoid those things, but the post-traumatic stress disorder is really big. And then people have phobias, fear of flying. I have one friend who won't ride an elevator. She'll walk dozens of flights of stairs to keep from getting in an elevator. And what sometimes helps with people like that is to do some sort of desensitization, where you are exposed to it, but you're in a safe place. The feelings come up. you calm yourself, it's that kind of thing. So that's another one. And then there's just the generalized anxiety that we've talked about earlier. Some of this comes about because we maybe have lost something, somebody's died, or there's a divorce, a relationship is over, that life happens to us, and sometimes we're overwhelmed with it. And that doesn't mean we're going to be that way forever, but in the short term, we may need some help. And so it's just to know that it's okay to ask for help. It's very wise to ask for help. It will certainly improve your physical health as well as your mental health, and it will improve your relationships. So in this day and time, there isn't any reason for anybody not to get the help they need because it's out there.